Hi, I'm Papa Hiker and welcome to my series on camping cook stoves. If you want to find out if on your next trip you should take an esbit or fuel tap stove setup and you want to see what a stove setup could look like, this video is for you. One of the types of camping that I do is quick and light solo trips, where weight and efficiency really matters. On earlier trips I took fuel taps as a backup fuel and wood was my primary fuel. This worked just fine. In fact, I developed my own burner that beats all others. On my last solo trip, however, in cold conditions, I took fuel taps as my only cook option. I found that this is a dependable, safe and quick method. And even though you carry all your fuel in your backpack, it's also the lightest cook option there is. I use my cook set for hot coffee and oatmeal in the morning and hot meals in the evening, followed by of course more coffee. In above freezing temperature, this costs me less than 6 taps every day or 24 grams in fuel. The weight of the kit, excluding the pot, is 16 grams. It's totally insensitive to wind too. So, first let's take a look at my system in action and then I'll do a weight and usability comparison between fuel tap systems, gas, alcohol, wood burning.
I'm in Kongsberg. It's a really pretty city and it's named after the big silver mountain. It's named by a king, not after a king. The king wanted to affirm his ownership of the silver in the Silver Mountain, so he decided to call the city Kongsberg, so everybody would be sure. I'll demonstrate my cook set for you. Well, this is what my cook set looks like after only one day of use. For a 100 milliliter cup. This comes from a playset that the kids have. It's 5 grams lighter than the lid that came with the cup, so that's an easy choice. So if people sell you ham, they sometimes include a tray in which to bake your ham. This is just a bit of tin can. This is a pot stand. And these are 4 gram each esbit cubes. Yep, this thing.
So, on to the pros and cons and the weight comparison. If you use a fuel tap system like this, you can take your fuel on a plane. It's easy to keep track of how much you have left, it requires minimal extra tools, and it works, period. Of all the options, this is also the only one that I use in an enclosed but floorless tent. Make sure that you use a tap holder that forms a bit of a bathtub, like this one. The fuel tap will melt and then burn in gaseous form. So you want to capture your fuel and concentrate the flame to your pot. My use is 24 grams a day, so in 7 days I will have a starting weight of 184 grams and an end weight of 16 grams. So on average that's 108 grams that I carry. This, I believe, is the lightest gas stove in the world. Gas works and it requires no extra tools, but you cannot take gas on a plane. and you can't see how much there is left, and importantly, I don't consider gas to be super safe. Wind protection is very important, so you would need a windshield. A 100-gram canister weighs 200 grams, and that is for one person for 1 week. A 230 grams canister, like this one, weighs 390 grams. Starting weight for a week would be 25 grams plus 200 grams plus a 20-gram windscreen, so that's 245 grams. Oops, left it open. The end weight is 145 grams, so on average you're carrying 195 grams. It's popular and fun, a wood burner. I love our Kelly kettle, for example. I spent a lot of time creating the ultimate wood burner, but that'll be a different video. For a solo trip you would use a small burner and take a little backup fuel and tinder. You would need some extra tools though. This knife that I customized myself, awesome, is a lightweight option at only 80 grams. So the pros are, you can take your wood burner on a plane, you just use the renewable fuel that you find in the woods and you don't leave fire marks. There are some downsides though. If you find no good fuel, you're screwed. Also, you need some fire skills and extra lighters, extra matches, and things will get sooty and stinky, as you can probably see from all my pots. My personal gripe though, especially in the mornings, is that it just takes a lot more time for collecting, processing the firewood, getting it going, etc. And of course the cooling down time for your fireplace. The starting weight for a week with this pot size would be about 80 grams for the burner, 10 grams for an extra lighter, plus 8 grams of backup fuel or tinder per day. So that's 145 grams. The end weight is about 98 grams, so on average that's 121 grams. But don't forget that you need a bigger knife. If you think that real minimalism is cooking over an open fire, just 3 stakes in the ground and that's it, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that 3 stakes are actually heavier than the alcohol or fuel tap set. Also, to build a real fire you need some serious knife, hatchet, saw, and you need a tinder box. Whereas if you use the alcohol or the fuel tap set, you can forget all of this and just take this one. My alcohol set looks almost the same as my fuel tap set, only the burner flips upside down. I'll show you in close-up. So the weight is the same, and it takes about the same weight of minimum fuel, but you may lose a bit more because it's harder to portionalize. So what you need extra is a dependable bottle with a small nozzle for filling your burner. The fuel taps also need some packaging, so I will go ahead and say that the alcohol setup has the same weight as the fuel tap set. However, there are some serious drawbacks. It's harder to portion the amount of fuel that you need. You cannot take it on a plane. It burns less efficiently in low temperatures and it's less safe. Should you knock it over while it is burning and filled with alcohol, that could be a real problem in your lightweight, highly flammable tent. Also, I don't want to think about the bottle leaking in your pack. So, that's it. I have come to love fuel taps for minimalist, quick and light trips, especially solo. Let me know what you think. See ya, Papa Hiker.